Hey there! Our whole digital world, from streaming our favorite shows to all the smart gadgets in our homes, it all runs on this hidden world of hardware. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode the essential pieces that make it all work, from that wireless signal floating through the air to the actual cables hidden in the walls.
Think about it. We all punch in that Wi-Fi password every single day, but that simple connection is just the absolute tip of the iceberg. What's actually powering it? What makes it fast and reliable? Or, frustratingly slow sometimes? Well, that's exactly what we're about to dive into. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the wireless tech we all know and use, then we'll dive deep into the wired backbone that holds the entire thing together. We'll look at how these devices get their power, how you can control them, and then we'll see what happens when you need networking gear in some really tough places. Let's do this.
Right, first up, the wireless connection. This is our main gateway to the internet for most of us, and the technology behind it has just taken a massive leap forward.
So, when you see a router that says Wi-Fi 6 on it, you're looking at the new standard. And this isn't just about a tiny speed boost. No. This is a complete overhaul, designed for how we actually live today, with laptops, phones, smart TVs, and doorbells all screaming for bandwidth at the same time.
Now, this is where it gets really good, because these benefits, they solve the stuff that drives us nuts about older Wi-Fi. That choppy video call when everyone's home, Wi-Fi 6 is built to handle that kind of congestion. Your phone's battery draining like crazy just by being online, it's way more efficient, so it helps with that too.
But what if your house or office is just too big for one single router to cover everything? We've all been there. Well, that's where mesh technology comes in to save the day. A good Wi-Fi 6 mesh system is basically the ultimate weapon for destroying those awful Wi-Fi dead zones once and for all.
And this is the magic of mesh, right here. Instead of having a bunch of different Wi-Fi networks you have to manually switch between, the whole system acts as one giant, super smart network. You can literally walk from the basement to the attic during a video call, and your phone will just seamlessly hop between the nodes without you ever noticing a thing.
Okay, let's move on to the unsung hero of any serious network, the wired core. Because while Wi-Fi is great, the absolute fastest and most stable connections are usually handled by the good old network switch. You gotta love this traffic cop analogy, because it's spot on. See, without a switch, data is just kind of shouted out to every device on the network, which is total chaos. But a switch is smart. It looks at each little piece of data, sees where it's supposed to go, and creates a direct, private line right to that device. It makes everything way faster and more secure.
Okay, but here's the thing. Not all switches are created equal. You've got your unmanaged switches, which are all about simplicity. You just plug stuff in and it works. That's it. Perfect for your home office. But then you have managed switches. These are for the pros. They give you this incredible control panel where you can tweak everything, prioritize your gaming PC's traffic, lock down security, you name it.
And wow, the variety is just massive. I mean, look at this. They come in all shapes and sizes. You could have a simple little 9-port unmanaged switch, or you could go all the way up to a giant 48-port Layer 3 managed switch. And that Layer 3 part, that means it's so smart it doesn't just connect devices, it can actually route traffic between different entire networks. It's like a switch and a router had a baby.
You might see that term 10G uplink on some of the bigger switches. Here's an easy way to think about it. If all the normal ports on the switch are like local roads for cars, the 10G uplink is the massive, multi-lane freeway that connects whole neighborhoods together. It's what lets all the data flow between different switches without creating a huge traffic jam.
Okay, get ready for a technology that is an absolute game changer. Seriously. It's called Power over Ethernet, or PoE for short, and it makes installing network gear so much cleaner and more convenient.
So, here's the bottom line. With PoE, you only need to run one single standard network cable to a device. That one cable gives it both the internet connection and the electricity it needs to power up. Just think about that. No more trying to find a power outlet in a ceiling or on the side of a building.
And this is where you really see how useful this is. All those devices that need to be in weird specific places, they're perfect for PoE. Think about it. A security camera way up high on a wall, a Wi-Fi access point dead center in the ceiling. PoE makes that stuff easy to install.
You should also know not all PoE is the same. It kind of comes in different power levels. You've got your standard PoE, which is fine for a simple camera, but then there's PoE Plus and even PoE++, which deliver way more juice for more power-hungry devices, like a fancy security camera with a built-in motor and heater.
All right, so you've got all this awesome hardware. Switches, access points. How in the world do you manage it all without pulling your hair out? Well, that's where controllers come into the picture.
You know, for a lot of businesses, having a physical box on site is the way to go. It's a dedicated piece of hardware that just lives on your network, and it gives you one single place to control everything. Set up all your access points, push out updates, and see how everything is performing.
But then there's the other side of the coin, the cloud. A cloud-based system moves that entire control panel onto the internet. And the massive advantage here is, of course, flexibility. Your IT admin could be fixing the office Wi-Fi from home, or even from their phone on a beach halfway across the world.
So everything we've talked about so far, it's really designed for a nice, clean, climate-controlled office or your home. But what happens when you need a solid network connection in a dusty factory, a freezing cold warehouse, or just outside?
That is exactly when you need industrial-grade gear. I mean, an industrial switch doesn't just look tougher, it is tougher. It's built from the ground up to work in places that would absolutely destroy a normal switch, with parts that can handle crazy temperature swings, vibrations, you name it.
And these tough devices have some really cool tricks up their sleeve for maximum reliability. Ring management is a great example. It lets you create this redundant loop of cable. So if some forklift accidentally snags and cuts one of the cables, the network basically says, uh-oh, and instantly reroutes all the traffic the other way around the loop. The connection never even drops. So, as we bring this all together, here's the big idea I want you to walk away with. A truly great network isn't about having the one fastest, most expensive router. It's about building a balanced ecosystem where all the pieces, the Wi-Fi, the switches, the power, the management, all work together perfectly. From finally getting rid of that dead zone in the back room with a mesh system to making sure a critical camera never loses its connection with an industrial switch, the right hardware can solve real-world problems. So it really makes you think, doesn't it? What's the weakest link in your network? Thanks for joining me.